All right, this video is regarding a video titled "The Curse of the King James Bible." Yeah, I know. And it was created by Dane Calloway. Now, I have nothing against Dane Calloway. I actually I appreciate the brother's research on certain topics. Now, I notice when he speaks on Bible that it's from a position of bias. I've noticed that for the past few years. Whenever he speaks on Bible, he automatically blindly he attaches religion to it. So this is the first video I've actually seen of him actually attempting to disprove the Bible. But as I watched this video, I noticed he didn't even talk about or even open the Bible to show anything. All he spoke about was mainly missionaries and King James. He never actually dealt with the Bible, which he never really proved his point. I have the video here. I'm going to try my hardest not to intervene, but I will as needed because this is a commentary. Here it is. Now, don't forget, it's called The Curse of the King James Bible. We're here to see if he actually identifies a curse that is surrounding the Bible.
My wife and I's book, titled "It Was Told in Reverse: The Untold Truth About the Transatlantic Slave Trade." We informed the readers of a particular missionary group inside this book known as, matter of fact, it was multiple ones, but I purposely pointed out, I believe, 2 of them in this book. But the missionary group that I'm familiar with inside of the book that I told you about was called the Congregation for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts. Let me let that sink in again. Right up under, look, right up under this. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on. Let me make it bigger. Look at the name. Let me bold it. The Congregation for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts. Yes, the title of their missionary group is informing you of their sole duty. They were a congregation for propagating the gospel in foreign parts of the New World to them. This is not the only society. They also had Society for Promoting Christian Knowledge. Y'all might have heard of that, SPCK. That's called Society for Promoting Christian Knowledge. Here go, Now, this pic say 1704. That's incorrect. It was 1701. The gift of the Society for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts. It was 1701. But again, this is just one of them. Look at the image, though. Foreigners coming by sailboats. Look at how they portrayed the Indians already on their land. You think we were welcoming them with open arms? Look what he got in his hand. He got the Bible in his hand, don't he? The Christian, the cross right here. That's one of their logos, by the way. But yeah, a lot of people were involved in that. King William, Society for Propagating the Gospel in Foreign Parts. You had Society for Promoting Christian Knowledge. Thomas Bray was in there. The United Society for Propagating the Gospel. That was another one. All of this stuff came from the Church of England, but wait a minute. Church of England. So, Dane, are you telling us that it came from a church? Yeah, but Dane, who was in charge of the church? Wait a minute. I'm getting there. You ready? Give him this one. You gotta buy the rights to have the King James. You gotta buy the rights. National Portrait Gallery of London own this picture, huh? Right? So I'm about to show y'all something. Because y'all know, again, they had societies for propagating the gospel in foreign parts. Okay? The reason why I keep showing you King James I is because he founded all of them, technically, because all of them fell up under the London Company, aka the Virginia Company, aka the Virginia Company of London. The Virginia Company of London was a joint stock company chartered by King James I in 1606 to establish a colony in North America. Stop. Did they send an army to come over here? Did they send an army to come over here? No, they did not. They sent missionaries. They knew they couldn't win the war. Again, they couldn't get you with the all this crap right here. Like they knights, they ain't bring no people like this over here. It wasn't no they were in armored suits and had swords. And it wasn't none of this, y'all. It was no guns, no swords. They came with the Bible. And I'm gonna ask y'all a question, chat, real quick before we go any further. Tell me what King James is most famous for. What is King James famous for the most? Now, I done seen a couple answers. Hold on. I'm gonna jump a big bar for all of y'all. All of y'all are right, okay? But hold up. I'm talking about something specific here. Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. King James allegedly finished the King James Version, which was also known as the authorized version of the Bible, in 1611.
All right, so now the confusion and deception actually begins. He, in a nutshell, has just used certain buzzwords like Christian, gospel, and missionaries, and then he's summarizing this and blindly connecting this to King James. So far, again, he has not shown any curse of the Bible. Okay, I want to make that part clear also. So he's showing King James, and then he just used the word finish. That's why I highlighted that and repeated it twice.
Finished the King James Version.
That's where the deception comes in, because finished what? And most people think it's King James writing this Bible, because a lot of ignorant people believe that King James actually wrote the Bible. However, King James translated the Bible. That's why it's called the King James Version. It's a translation into English. Okay. Now, what these missionaries and the gospel they created in their mission, that's what missionary mean. It's a mission. It has nothing to do with the Bible or a curse of the Bible. That's just Europeans doing a European mission contrary to the Bible, because the Bible has nothing to do with these Europeans if you actually crack it open and read it. And speaking of cracking it open and actually reading it, when you actually go to the source of the gospel, it's actually designed to protect those that are captives. It's for the captive that mourn in Zion. It's for the nation of it, the actual nation of Israel. Let me make that clear. It's deceptive to pretend that because you see gospel to connect it to missionary, which is not even in the Bible. That's a European religious Christian connection. It has nothing to do with the Bible. You have yet to show that there's a curse of the Bible. The Bible actually shows, again, I can't emphasize this enough, when you actually crack it open and read it, it shows that these Europeans, amongst a plethora of other nations, would be a curse unto, again, the real nation of Israel. This has nothing to do with King James or any religion or King James has nothing to do with it. His only job was to translate Hebrew to English. That's it. That was his. It could have been the Dane Calloway version. Let me help you out with it. It could look like this. Boom. It doesn't matter who the person doing the translation is, because they're only translating something. Translation means it was already written. You failed to go to the origin of the Bible. Actually, you didn't even go to the Bible. That's what you can drop as many bombs in your video and isn't that. You're not proving your point. You're proving that you have a bias and all you know is religion, which shows you really have no leg to stand on in combating the Bible. You really don't, because you can't even combat it in reality. You just combat it with what you think you know.
I'm getting somewhere with this. 1611, King James Version. It was allegedly the authorized version handed to the Protestants. The missionaries that came over here to America, Catholics, Protestants, Quakers, wait a minute, they were all together? Yes, they were. But what did we just say? The Virginia Company of London was a joint stock company chartered by King James I in 1606 to establish a colony of North America. The King James Version was done in 1611. I want y'all to see where I'm getting at here. I'm taking it slow for a reason because I want this to sink in what I'm about to show you next. Let me tell you first. King James couldn't have been his name because the letter J was not in the alphabet at that time. You ready? You ready? King James wasn't his name. The letter J wasn't in the alphabet at that time. You ready? We about to get deep. Let's see if y'all can make out this book. I'm going to just tell you, for the colony of Virginia, Britannia, look how things were spelled. Keep in mind, this at the bottom, it says 1612. Am I on big screen? Hold on. Just in case. 2 V's was a W. The V was a U. This is the original. Then this came out. For the colony of Britannia, laws divine, moral, and martial, etc. This came out in 1969. Look how long it's been since they tried to redo this now. Wait a minute. Did y'all catch that yet? Y'all didn't catch that, did y'all? Hold up. The Virginia Company of London was a joint stock company chartered by King James I in 1606 to establish a colony in North America. The King James Version of the Bible came out in 1611. For the colony of Britannia, laws divine and moral and martial. Wait a minute. Isn't that what the Bible's supposed to be doing? I thought the Bible was supposed to give you the laws and divine order and the morals and the... Wait a minute, so what you doing this for? Wait a minute, so what you doing this for? Wait a minute, so what you doing this for?
Now, that's a great question, and here's the answer. You see clearly that what he put on the screen says who it's for. Initially, when the Bible was written, not translated by King James, because he's basing that as an origin. No, that's the origin of translation to English. Yeah. But the origin foundationally, the prophets, Hebrew Israelite prophets, the purpose of the Bible was there was covenant involved with the nation of Israel. And that's, see, you have to know the book in order to talk shit about the book. All you're doing is doing a bunch of speculating and guessing, and you're using the Western American religious nonsense, and it's really making you look foolish to somebody that actually knows the natural, organic intentions of the Bible. That's the answer to that question. This is for the colony of the Virginica or whatever. The Bible, foundationally, when you're translating something, you're translating it, okay? The problem with that, when you, as far as these missionaries, is that, well, it says over and over in the book who it's for, and it's not Virginica. So you have to create something else to make it for Virginica. And that's what this is. The Bible's for Israel. Now, on another subject, he's talking about King. All he's doing is talking about King James in his name. That does not support the title of your video, which is to show how the Bible's a curse. This is all strawman. It has nothing to do with anything. You're talking, but you're not showing and proving your position.
In 1612, they said that the Bible was supposed to give you the laws and divine rights, divine order, the morals, and it's supposed to tell you about the standards, right? In 1612. The year after the King James Version, this exposing something. So if it's for the colony of Virginia, if it's for them, then who? The people that are there or the people going there. We gonna get there. Hold up. We walking it down. So now it was done again in 1969. But notice how he changed the two V's to a W, changed the U into a V. Marshall. Still got two L's. Compiled by William Strachey. 1969. I'm showing you for this for a reason, because I'm sure it ain't gonna be $2 no more. But I'm gonna show you this for a reason, because here's another thing. I want you to see this paragraph right here. This is the preface of that same book. Notice how it says, this was copyrighted in 1969 by the rector and visitors of the University of Virginia. It was first published in London in 1612. This edition was published in 1969. What I want you to look at closely is right here. Well, he's talking about the book. This volume is a reprinting of the laws that were drawn up for the tiny colony of Virginia between 1609 and 1612. Let me back that up real quick, because some of y'all probably didn't hear me. So let me make some noise real quick.
It's go time, Slim.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
This volume is a reprinting of the laws that were drawn up for the tiny colony.
Bingo. He's literally proven my point. It's who it's for, designated for. The words of the Bible that King James was authorized to translate was written for a specific nation of people, Israel. That's who it's for. Just like this book is saying who it's for. And also, I want you to know that he's running to all these different books which are not proving his point. I would challenge Dane Calloway, pay him $10,000 to show, or anybody else to show, that this Bible is just a curse to us. I would, because at the end of the day, I know it can't be proven. You can run to all these other books, but the books you're saying has the curse in it. Come on, bro. That's common sense. Now, the Bible actually warns us, Israel, that accepting these Europeans, these missionaries that you're talking about, that would actually be a curse, that they would be a thorn in our side, you know. But again, somebody that does not read the book, I wouldn't expect you to know that. It was actually written for our well-being. They just translated it into English.
Of Virginia between 1609 and 1612. And then let's skip all the way down here to where he says American Historical Association were used in editing of this text of the laws, divine, moral, and martial. I have retained original spelling and punctuation except to transpose I and J and U and V to correspond to the modern usage. Again, I have retained original spelling of punctuation except to transpose I and J and U and V to correspond to modern usage. The letter J was not there in 1612.
But Dane, so what is it?
We getting there.
What is it? If his name is not King James, damn it, what is his name?
The J is not a J. It was the letter T. Hold up.
This video is now becoming a video on the etymology, or the old English transitioning into the modern English. This literally has shifted from, well, actually I can't even say it shifted from the title of the video, because he had never even addressed the title of the video. He keeps talking about King James because he ignorantly doesn't know that King James' mission was to only translate. The key mistake that he's making is assuming that King James wrote the Bible, therefore missionaries, Europeans, etc. ... And from that, he has not and will not prove his position ever.
A lot of y'all saying why, but that's the Chinese edition. Keep in mind, we talking about English.
Set it on fire.
English. Use the letter T. Use the letter T. When y'all say why, that's Chinese. We gonna get into that later, but I want to show you something. What does that make it, y'all? Thames. Uh-oh. It's King Thames. Wait a minute, y'all. Hold up. About to show y'all something. Here's another reason why we know. Don't London got a Thames River? Don't they got a Thames River? Not Thomas. Thames River. Yeah, they wouldn't just be naming it Thames for no reason. Huh? Looky. I'm gonna scroll down just in case. Yes, sir. Thames. So what does that have to do with King James? Well,
I want to know what it has to do with proving the Bible is just somehow a curse.
If it's King Thames, then it's the King Thames version. It's the version to tame the kings.
Nah, man. It couldn't be because his name is literally King James or Thames, whatever you want to misidentify it as. And so he's calling it after his name, the translation that he did. Remember, he's not addressing that all King James did was translate the Bible from Hebrew into English, meaning it was already originally written in Hebrew. I need to address two things. First, translation. When something is translated, that means it's literally in one language and it's translated into another language. The person who is authorized to translate those words from one language to the other can call it his translation. It's not far-fetched. It has nothing to do with taming somebody. That's just so ridiculous. The other thing earlier, he mentioned the missionaries having the Bible. My point is, and so what? You can go to any church on a Sunday and they will have the Bible, but they don't use the Bible. It's just them standing there. They might read a sentence or two and then they'll give an essay explanation of what it means to them. That's not how it's done. Yes, they have it, but they're misusing it. If they use it at all, they barely use it. Because then you have to somehow justify sun worship Sundays instead of the Sabbath day, the seventh day.
I'm walking it down. Submitting. Submission. Wait a minute. Are they doing that to do the... Wait a minute, Dane. What? To make the king submit? Oh, it get deeper. The word king, right? The etymology of the word king. The descendant of a divine race. Listen. Descendant of a divine race. Leader of the people. Family race. The word kin is in king. Noble birth. One who descends from noble birth. The descendant of a divine race. This is referring to families. This is referring to us.
This is so irrelevant because this is the English language, okay? Again, he has no sense of history when it comes to this book. So the word king in the Hebrew is Malak. Now, that's where you get the order of Melchizedek is Melchizedek, Malak. So anyway, this, and also this is still irrelevant because nowhere we've made it this far in the video and he has yet to show how the Bible is a curse. I've not seen one page flipped in the Bible to show where it's a curse to Negroes, or as he would say, Niji.
They gonna hang you to King Tames, yeah, to tame the kings.
Now, there's no sense in pretending we didn't just witness him create that doctrine right here in this video. It wasn't to tame something. He made that up.
Because think about it. Whatever you want to be subject to, you have to tame it. Whatever they want you to be subject to, you have to tame it. There's your curse, ladies and gentlemen.
Where? Because, and that's why I'm doing this video. That's supposedly the big revelation, is that the etymology from some old English word usage, and I guess because some missionaries did something and they use biblical terms, that's somehow supposed to be what's actually in the Bible, making it a curse. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Meanwhile, he never actually went in the book to show how it's a curse. Now, if he would have said the curse of the European conquerors or something, that's actually in the book, that would be more accurate. But to say the book, it in and of itself, is a curse because some Europeans did something and a man translated some Hebrew words into another language, English, that's just a curse. You got to be out of your mind. You got to be drinking some good Henny or something, because like I've seen this brother's research on other topics and it's spot on. It's supported. But this is just him talking about only King James and what some missionaries did. He never showed where the Bible is somehow a curse. He never did that. I've shown more Bible than he did. You know, proven otherwise.
It wasn't just Deuteronomy. It was the whole thing. They switched it later on and added the letter J so you can't find it.
The book of Deuteronomy and the letter J in King James' name have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Okay, zero. He keeps connecting King James to the Bible. It, like, I want to say the words inside the Bible. He has not shown the words inside the Bible. That's why I said earlier, it could have been the Dane Calloway translation. It has nothing to do with anything, because at the end of the day, if in Hebrew, Deuteronomy says, thou shalt not kill, and then you say it in English, thou shalt not kill, you know, under the Dane Calloway translation, nothing has changed. You would have to show a change in the Bible. And many fools think that nonsense, but many fools can't prove that nonsense.
Because keep in mind that the gentleman that compiled the laws told you that he had to add the letter J in there, indicating that the letter J was not there at that time of 1612. Was not there at that time of 1612. Y'all know how deep that is? How you gonna learn today? King Tames. Again, to go back, he sent missionaries, right? With Bibles in their hand to tame the kings. They didn't come with no sword. Oh, this picture right here, they ain't come with no sword, no guns. They came with Bibles to tame you.
And yes, I agree, they came to do that. What you're supposed to be showing is where in the book does it give these Europeans this magical power that you're saying that is giving them. Where does it say that at, man? You all over the place.
This is the reason why they don't teach what happened realistically within the Bible. Of course not. Why would they tell you that? This is the reason why the Bible was not a history book. Another reason is because you can't find the Bible in the history book section of where they're selling books, like a bookstore. They're going to say it's inspirational and spiritual section.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing deep about that. The place or location of a book at the library, where modern day Europeans choose to place something, is where you're making them the judge of what something is, rather than just raw what it is. And that's why you got to go to the beginning instead of King James. Like that's common sense, bro.
Listen to how deep that gets. This whole time, we're familiar with other versions of the Bible that came later. Right? I'm going to show y'all another thing. Watch this.
A lot of what Dane is talking about is true. However, it's irrelevant because it doesn't touch the topic. Now, I actually have a copy of the 1611 KJV. When you actually open it up and don't do like Dane and just talk about a bunch of random topics, it says the authorized version of the Bible, popularly known as the King James Version. That's what Dane said. I agree. That's common sense. Okay. Was first printed in 1611. It set the standard by which all subsequent English Bible translations have been measured. Translations. Not him writing the Bible. Then it says translation, not writing, of the King James Version was a monumental task, one undertaken by a 47-member committee of Bible scholars. Okay, so again, it says in it that it's a translation. The Bible itself doesn't even say that King James wrote it. Okay, that's why we got to crack things open and check them out instead of listening to a bunch of just fools that don't know what they're talking about. Basically, he's about to go on this etymology rant having nothing to do with the title of the video of how the Bible's supposed to just be this curse somehow. So I didn't intend for this video to be this long. I don't like doing that because people have short attention spans today, but I had to let this rock out so y'all can see the entirety of this. But I'm just going to, like I said, let this rock out. That's all for now as it is written, and I'm out.
This is why I can't stand Wikipedia, but I'm going to show y'all something. I want to show y'all this. Matter of fact, I'm going to give y'all 30 seconds to think of a name that was handed to us that's very similar to Indian, but not quite Indian all the way. Not Niji. We're not talking about Niji. Niji came later. We talking about something that's older than Niji, that's still relating to Niji and Indian. All right, so let's type it in. A lot of people were saying this correctly. INJUN. Right? Oh, let me, so it won't get confusing. Or won't be confusing. Let's make that pretty large. Now, they're going to say that this is the original 17th century mispronunciation of Indian. They're going to also say that it's generally considered offensive today. I'm trying to look. Let me give y'all a quote real quick, because I'm gonna post it up just so y'all can have it. This is what they're gonna say about this word. Now, make it larger so y'all can see it. They're gonna say engine is originally the 17th century mispronunciation of Indian. Now, when I told you that they told us everything in reverse, here's another reason why you know that. Because the 17th century is what time period, y'all? Go ahead, say it real quick. Real quick. The 17th century is what time period? Say it in the chat. The 1600s. And didn't we just show that the 1600s ain't had a letter J? Hold up. You heard what I said? I can't see my chat. There you go. Everybody in the chat saying 1600s. Didn't I just say The letter J.
It's up.
Ooh. It's not there. So how can it be the mispronunciation of Indian, generally considered offensive, when it wasn't spelled this way? How was it spelled, y'all? Now keep in mind, they added J when it was actually spelled differently back then in the 1600s. The 1600s never had a J, never had a T. The correct spelling of this word back then is in gen with the G. That was the correct spelling. It never had a J. You see how they tried to throw the J on it, knowing that we was going to be able to trace it back and say, wait a minute, the J wasn't there. And that will make that J the T, but it was never spelled with the J. It was always spelled with G. What does this mean, though? You can find the word gen in a lot of great things, right? Yeah, indigenous, Genesis. There y'all go. What else? What else? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. God damn it. Generation, genetic. Talk to me. Genius. Talk to me. Ingenuity. Let's go. Let's fucking go. And they wanted to hide this from you for this reason. When I tell you that you are the chosen people, I don't have to prove it by way of the Bible, because I could prove it in your name. Generator, genuine, general, Genesis, gentle. We got this. Yeah, it's in your gene. Look how deep that get. Engineer. Engine. That should make you question origin. No, right? As far as the spelling. Generosity. You right. Look. There you go, Iron. There you go. Yes, ingenuity. Big deal. Y'all. Origin. Aborigine. Aborigine. Gen. Here you go. Here you go. Generate. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of y'all. I'm very. I'm thankful. Those of y'all that's checking this live stream late, don't worry. It's gonna be up. We're gonna keep this in there. But yeah, this is the reason why they're trying to say that it was a mispronunciation of Indian. Used to mock or impersonate Native Americans. To see how they're trying to throw you off? They're trying to throw you off so you won't ever look into it. But it'd be right in front of you whole time. It was always with a G. It was always with a, yes, oxygen. That's right. That's right, Lotus. Oxygen. Who said gin and juice? Okay. I got you. But don't be, listen, you telling them yourself. It's too late to be on some gin and juice right now. Huh? But they usually talk, you notice how our people came up with the song, right? But what was they smoking on before they was hitting gin and juice? I mean, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back with their mind on their money and their money on their mind. What was they saying before that? All right, never mind. Leave it alone, bruh. Leave it alone. All right, listen. Look, I think that is so funny. And speaking of Snoop, matter of fact, I guess I can play this. Let me see if I got that. Speaking of that song, just because we spoke of that song, right?
The marshmallow.
I got that Indian blood, so when I drink whiskey, I turn into something different. I got that Indian blood, so when I drink whiskey, I turn into something different. I got that Indian blood, so when I drink whiskey, I turn into something different.
All right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro.
Set it on fire.
It's up.
I'm just here to make you think.
Slow down. Yeah. Sub up like